All right, welcome to writing class. It has been a while since we reviewed this, so I have noticed in most of our writing, virtual and in person, we have forgotten how to do this, okay? So a compound sentence, first of all, does anyone even remember what that means? A compound sentence. Cadence? It is something. What is it, though? Hayden?
It means like you can combine sentences.
Yes. That means if I have two whole sentences with a whole sentence in each one, I can mush them together, and I can combine them using two things, and this might ring a bell. What two things do I have to use to combine two sentences to make it a compound sentence? Emma?
Comma.
A comma and what else? Anyone remember? Abby? Well, we always have a period at the end. When we're joining them together, we have a comma and a... It's a part of speech word that we haven't talked about in a while. It starts with a C. I'll help you out. A conjunction. Okay? So, on your paper, please copy down. We're going to write my sentence and we're going to make notes about it. So let's say this. All right, please write that down. It should take no longer than 20 seconds. Those are very short sentences. Those of you who haven't started, you're obviously going to be behind. You got to get started. The birds were cold, period. They flew south, period. All right, first thing to notice. Are those both complete sentences? Someone raise your hand and explain to me. Josiah?
No.
Why do you think they're not complete sentences?
They're both like 3 words.
Okay, so they're short, but are they complete sentences? Do I have a subject and a predicate? Cadence?
Yes.
I do. All right, so just so we're all aware, here is my subject, right? The birds is my subject. Does this sentence give me an action that they did? Abby? They were cold. So we have a subject and we have a predicate. Subject tells us what the sentence is about. The predicate tells us what happened to them or what it did. Sentence 2. Do I have a subject? Who is it about? Chloe?
First of all, does South have to be capitalized?
Right now, we're focusing on what I just asked you. Angie, do we have a subject in our second sentence? Who is it about?
No.
We do. We do. It's a pronoun. Noah?
They.
They. That is the subject. I could say the birds again, but I chose to use a pronoun. Does it tell us what they did? Do we have a predicate? Hayden?
Flew south.
They flew south. Okay, so those are two complete sentences. They can be on their own. Even though they're really small, that's okay. Sentences can be small. Madeline? Put all that away. All right, next job. We need to combine them into one sentence. So before we do that, we need to make a list of our conjunctions. So somewhere on your notepad, I need you to write conjunction. And we're going to list out the conjunctions that we typically use. So I'll give you about 15 seconds to write that word. Everyone should be writing. I don't think any of you knew to write that before I asked you to. Conjunctions. All right, conjunctions are the little tiny joining words that put the sentences together. Does anyone remember one of our conjunctions we can use to combine our sentences? Noah?
Comma.
All right, well, that's not a conjunction. A conjunction is a word. Hayden?
Well, on this one it could say.
Just
comma,
we are just listing our conjunctions. Do you remember what they are?
They.
Okay.
No.
Conjunction joins our sentences together. Noah, give me one.
Also.
Nope. All right, I'll get us started because we are not remembering. Back of the room really needs to perk up and listen because you have not been giving me much out of the lesson. Madeline, you remember what they are?
It's like a comma.
Okay, nope, a comma is not a word. So, conjunctions, copy them with me. We don't remember them. One of them is and.
Oh.
One of them is or. We can say but. We can say nor. Nor, we don't really use a lot, but if you ever see it, that is a conjunction. Shh. Abby?
Is it one so?
So, and that's basically it. You can have other ones like therefore. When you get older, you learn fancier ones. But the three we use the most, and, or, so, well, 4 of them, and but. I put nor on there just so you know. All right, so a lot of you kept mentioning a comma. Why is it important we also use a comma? Abby?
It's important because we like combining the two sentences.
Right. So we use a conjunction and a comma. Okay, we have to choose a conjunction and we always use a comma. Are we good? Okay. All right, so now it's time to combine those sentences. So pencils ready. We're going to copy down first the birds were cold, and then we need to figure out what we're doing in the middle. So everyone with me. The birds were cold. We're not going to put a period because we're making a compound sentence this time. I'm going to pause you just a minute. So, what do I need to do after cold? The birds were cold. We talked about a conjunction and a comma. Any ideas? We're trying to remember from a long time ago. Dylan?
They fused the sentences to make the birds were cold, so they fused up.
Okay, you're right. We have to pick a conjunction. Sometimes more than one will work. So you just kind of test them out. The birds were cold and they flew south. That does work. The birds were cold or they flew south?
No.
Definitely not. The birds were cold but they flew south.
No.
I mean, it could work, right? If I was talking about how cold they were and it was like, but don't worry, they went south and now they're warm. Okay? Nor won't work. The birds were cold, so they flew south.
Yes.
That sounds the best, okay? So, we're going to write that first. The birds were cold, comma, so they flew south.
The sentence worked.
All right. Now, earlier someone asked me about capitalizing south. Not important to worry about capitals right now, but if I'm saying they flew south, like the direction south, we don't capitalize it. But if I said they flew to the south, that's like the name of a place, right? The south is a part of our country. So in this case, we do not need it capitalized. Give you about 10 more seconds. Make sure that's all copied down. So something important to remember. Your comma goes first. Okay, it takes the place of the first period. Then you write your conjunction, and then you can finish your sentence. Little things to notice. What did we have to do to the first word of our second sentence? It's kind of obvious, but sometimes people forget. Hayden?
No capitalization.
Yeah, we have to lowercase that letter so it's small. All right, any questions now? You're going to try one on your own, okay? All right, I'm going to write 2 sentences. You don't have to copy them down. You can write them as a compound sentence. So, here we go. I didn't spell that right. My cat scratched me. I yelled out loudly. Pick a conjunction. Don't forget your comma.
That kind of rhymes.
It did. About 1 minute, I will have somebody tell me where the comma goes. Somebody else will tell me what conjunction they picked. It's looking like most of our pencils are about done moving. All right, Josiah, where does my comma go first?
Between it's where the period is on my cat scratched me.
Yep, you just change that to a comma. My cat scratched me, comma, I yelled out loudly. We can't leave it that way. We have to use a joining word. Angie?
So?
So, that would work. My cat scratched me, So I yelled out loudly. Hayden? And would also work. Madeline, was that what you were going to say? Okay. Yeah, the other ones don't work so much, right? Sometimes they just don't work. So you have to make sure you choose one that makes sense. All right, now, do I need to lower this upper letter here? Noah?
No,
No. Why?
because I's are as capital if they're by themselves.
Eyes are always capital. And you guys are good about that when you write, but sometimes when you type, you forget. So make sure we don't forget. When an I is by itself, it has to be a big I. All right, any questions? Okay. Hayden?
Are we gonna have like something to do with conjunction?
We will tomorrow. Today we are practicing how to do it, review. Tomorrow you're going to show me what you remember, okay? All right. See you guys later.